here's the thing that I'm going to go ahead and talk about, and I'm going to approach it in a nicer way. The way the journalists and media outlets are basically using the scapegoat argument to basically blame people for not watching Captain Marvel. Keep this in mind. I didn't want to watch the film because of the trailer, and I was really turned off by the trailer, to be honest with you guys. Now, I want to approach this in a nicer way on the reasons why the journalists are failing to reach out to the audience that probably doesn't want to watch this film for a reason. Trying to guilt people into watching this film isn't going to work, because it never worked. Because it didn't work for Ghostbusters. It didn't work for any of it for a reason. Because a lot of people saw through that BS before and realized that trying to label people names and name calling them wasn't going to work. But doing what you guys did right now, calling them alt-right and all this other stuff, isn't going to help the issue either. It isn't going to do anything. Labeling that isn't going to help. I understand that there is a vocal community of people that don't want to watch this film because they don't like Brie Larson for a reason, and I didn't really care what she had to say. But here's the issue. If you guys approach this in a nicer way, like, for example, saying, hey, give this film a chance, it might be a good film, it might make you think, type of approach. But instead, I noticed that a lot of these journalists who are upset about the concern about this film, getting upset about the fact that they that people don't want to watch this film, it's a big surprise. But here's the thing that they should have approached it as. They could have approached it the nicer way, like I said, and they could have just instead of name calling and labeling people, they could have gotten this film $1 billion or $1 million by now. But instead, no, they basically are. It almost feels like they're sabotaging this film, sabotaging the reputation of this film by name calling everybody. That's how I feel about this, because it seems like a lot of these journalists don't know how to be diplomatic about it, trying to, convince people to watch this film. And I understand that they're being paid, and it feels like, and I hate to say it, it feels like Disney is bribing them under the table to say this stuff. But the problem here is that they're sabotaging it by saying, oh yeah, Disney, these incels are basically a problem, and blah, blah, blah. No. You guys are name calling people, and that's why Ghostbusters via 2016 became a flop, because you guys tried to convince people to watch this film by shaming them, by labeling them, and all this other stuff. If it would have never happened, 2016's Ghostbusters would have been a success, even though people didn't like that film because it was garbage, and let's face it, it didn't look good. And China didn't want to watch it because they were afraid of skeletons and ghosts. But as far as I know, this film could have been a success. But instead, it seems that some journalists are literally getting upset because even though people are politically motivated by this film and saying that they don't want to watch this film, but I'm just going to point out, if you approached it in a nicer way by saying give this film a chance, it would have been fine. And people wouldn't have to get upset about this. It could have stopped all the flames and everything. But the problem here is that you think you know the whole community as well as you think you do. But there are a community of people that probably are not interested in this film. And that's okay. And you could probably just convince them, hey, give this film a chance. It might be a good film. But don't try to label people names because it makes you feel like you're a bully and trying to shame people into watching this film and conning them. That's how it feels. If you would approach it in a nicer way by doing what you do, you could made this film a lot of money. But instead, you're basically destroying it, ruining its chances of becoming a successful movie by doing what you're doing right now. And that's the truth. That's how I see it. Because you're not going to get a lot of respect for that, for doing that in the industry. And it feels like you guys are sabotaging it by name calling and all this other stuff, because this is the problem that you guys are having right now. You're trying to help a film out, because I understand that the industry is sinking to the point of it. It's getting to that sinking point that they're going to lose a lot of money from this. And if anything, you guys need to approach it in a nicer way, change your act, or else you're gonna really hurt this film, and it's gonna ruin its chances of success. That's the truth. So I gotta go. Leave your likes and dislikes and criticisms down below and tell me what you guys think, because I gotta go. Bye-bye. Because I have to go.